trying to get the flasher cam set up there and hooked up. This one bouncing off the bottom. Sitting here fishing 110 feet of water today. Just got set up. And yeah, that's a good sign. There's already fish on the screen. Doesn't feel too big. Definitely a smaller fish. Hello guy, hammered my tube here. So we can pop that hook out, get it right back in the water. Hell's a little lake trout show of the future of Cold Lake here. Definitely a healthy population, but get back down there and see if we can get another one. Yeah, as you've seen, we're back out on Cold Lake. Didn't take us long to get hooked up with a little laker there. Hopefully the action's good today, but I'm gonna share a few tips with you guys on how I land a few more lakers throughout the slow time in the winter, so stay tuned. There's one coming off the bottom, see if they'll chase. Chase a little bit, but now he's heading back down, so we'll just drop down and see if we can catch him around the bottom somewhere. See if he wants to chase again. No. So now what we'll do is just drop down and kind of finesse him at the bottom, see if he'll pick it up off the bottom. So we're on the bottom now, so now we'll just kind of lightly tap the bottom. See if we can get his interest. Looks like there might be another one right down there along the bottom as well. Give it a few taps like that and we'll just reel up, see if we can get him to chase again. Oh yeah, look at him fly up now. Definitely piqued his interest. Well, he missed her the first time. There we go. Hooked up. Yeah, it just goes to show you that these fish are all in different moods, so sometimes you got to read the fish a little bit and see what it wants to get it fired up. Definitely not a huge fish, but it's good to see an aggressive chaser this morning. There's the leader here, just under the ice. Oh, popped off right under the hole there. I want to talk about lake trout location. Today I'm set up on the bottom side of a nice steep drop. So up behind me here, it's 30 feet. Often you'll find lake trout up there feeding. It's kind of a feeding shelf kind of area for me. And they also use this big steep drop to push bait up against it and feed. Today there has been a little bit of bait near the bottom, some halfway up once in a while. So yeah, those lake trout will be coming in here to feed, which is definitely a bonus, having a little bit of bait in the area. Keep those lake trout around. Yeah, some other good spots are humps. You definitely want to be around some structure where it goes from deep to shallow water. These lake trout definitely roam the deeps, but they also like to feed up shallow sometimes. So you gotta keep an open mind when fishing them. They can be anywhere in the water column. Yeah, like I said, I like steep drops are probably my favorite. Humps are another good spot. Some ridges. Sometimes they use both sides of those ridges as a highway, travel and feed. But yeah, if you find one of those spots and drill a couple holes, I'm sure you'll find some lake trout down there. Yeah, well, we fished the spot for about an hour, 15 minutes. So we're gonna make a quick move. Spot, we caught one fish and lost another one right at the hole. But I think we can get on some better stuff, so we'll just keep moving around until we find them. Oh, I got fish chasing us already. We just dropped down on another spot. Oh, there's a couple fish down here. Seem a little bit skittish. Just try the bounce it on the bottom trick here, see what happens. There we go. Just like that. Laid it right on the bottom. Just gave it a quick bounce and he picked it right up. Awesome. Other fish is chasing them up too. There we go. Gotta love when they're pulling drag like this. Beautiful day out here too on Cold Lake. Finally some nice weather. Yeah, we just made a move here, 101 feet. Picked a spot with a nice sandy feeding flatten behind me here, inside turn, and we're on the deep side of that drop off. So that's what we picked, and yeah, there's a couple fish here on the screen right away, so it's a good sign. Hooked up. It's coming up pretty easy now, about 15 feet down. At the leader here, so just under the ice. Oh yeah, nice beautiful lake trout here. Got that one on a 3.5 inch pickle tube. I'll get you guys one quick look and we'll get this fish right back down in the water. Yeah, that just goes to show that some of those smaller moves pay off. So we just moved down a little bit farther and found a new piece of structure and started working it. And sure enough, fish right away. Get back down there, see if we can get a few more. We talked a little bit about lake trout location earlier. So once you're at a good spot, you're marking fish. Next part is to try to catch them. What I always like to do when I start jigging, I like to sit that 5 to 10 feet off the bottom. If you have electronics, that allows you to see those fish kind of come in off the bottom, watch them moving at your bait. And once they start making a move at your bait, coming up off the bottom, first chance I get at that fish, I'm definitely reeling up. Get that fish to chase, make it think it's a piece of bait that's getting away. If it wants it, it'll chase it down. You'll never be able to out-reel it. But if it doesn't make that aggressive move at the start, sometimes you got to get a good read on the fish, see what kind of mood it's in. You drop down to the bottom, you can pound the sand a little bit. Sometimes that'll get the fish fired up. Sometimes they'll pick it right out of the sand. Sometimes that's enough to make him chase up a second time. So yeah, sometimes you just got to play a little bit of cat and mouse with them to get on a bite. That's the fun part about lake trout. Now, if you got good electronics, you can do this. If you don't have good electronics, I would just stick near the bottom and do water column checks, reel right to the surface every 5 to 10 minutes and drop back down. It'll accomplish almost the same thing. But yeah, let's get back to fishing. Hopefully we can get hooked up with a few more here. Just dropping down a TC Moto meathead, kind of a hair jig. Looks like there's a fish down there waiting for us. Oh yeah, he's chasing us here. There we go. Just had to switch up baits there. Sure enough, hooked up again. Second fish in this spot here. That just goes to show sometimes switching up your presentation a little bit might trigger a bite. Sure enough, that one absolutely hammered it. Loosen off the drag and let them play a little bit here, just below the ice. Try to be careful. We're at the leader here, so just under the ice. Just a little guy. Caught that one on the TC Moto meathead. Tipped with a piece of sucker belly. Give you guys a quick look at this fish and we'll get it right back in the water. Looks like there might be another one down there, so we'll get our meathead dropped down, see if we can get another one. Have them dropping down here. Yeah, like I said, just switch it up presentation just a touch. Those hair jigs are a great finesse presentation. Great bait to switch to during a slow bite. Sometimes just those small changes can make your day. Yeah, so that's a third tip is don't be afraid to downsize your bait when it's a little slower out. You'll still get lots of action. You can still get some big fish on it. So yeah, today I just went down from what I normally use, 5-inch tubes, down to 3.5-inch tubes. And that seems to be working out even further. I went to a hair jig there for that last fish and paid off. Lots of times you just tip these hair jigs with a piece of sucker belly and you just kind of work the bottom really, really subtly. And yeah, you'll hook up to a lot more fish. So let's get back down there and see if we can get a few more. There we go. There's a couple down there. We just finished talking about, camera's not even zoomed all the way out yet. Yeah, we just finished talking about switching to a smaller bait and working the bottom, and as soon as I worked that bait again, and sure enough, hooked up. There's definitely a couple with it. There's a bigger one right on the bottom, and it's definitely a smaller school of fish, but yeah, the action's kind of nice. It's been a slow morning so far. We're on our second spot here. Yeah, like I said, I got some littler fish, but get some action. That was on the meathead again. We'll get that hook out, get this fish right back in the water. Get right back down there because it looked like there was a couple of fish that came up with that one, so hopefully we can get hooked up with another one here. Here we go, we got one chasing here off the bottom. Looks like there might be, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. It's like a school of 3 or 4. Oh yeah, look at them all come. One of these is gonna hit it. There we go. Yeah, there's like a school of them. Seen 4 or 5 fish come up there, and sure enough, oh, one of them hit us. Usually when you get a school like that, they get a little bit competitive for the bait, and eventually you're gonna get hit. Close to the top of the ice here. Yeah, there's my... Here's just under the ice. Oh, that's a nice fish. Real nice fish. Oh, oh yeah. It's an absolute beauty. Choked that hair jig right down there, but yeah, look at this fish. What an unreal fish. Cold Lake. Nice and long, nice and golden colored. But yeah, he's got that hair jig right in the top of his mouth here, but we'll get it out. Give you guys one more quick look. Get this fish right back in the water. What a fish. Yeah, there we go. That was kind of cool. A bunch of fish chasing it up, and sure enough, the biggest one was the last one, and he came and finished the deal. But we'll get back down there and see if we can get a few more. Yeah, so we've been fishing the spot for about 2 hours now. We haven't really seen a fish in the last half hour to 45 minutes. So we're gonna make a quick move, see if we can get on another school of fish. So stay tuned. Got one chasing here. Missed it. No. There we go. I just came cruising up off the bottom there. We just moved in a little bit shallower, kind of the same area, but we moved into 78 feet here. Oh, popped off there just below the ice. Yeah, we just moved into 78 feet here just to see if we could track down a few more. I just raced up and got, I was just eating my sandwich there and had my hooks in about 5 feet off the bottom. I couldn't even reach down to grab my rod before he had already hit it. This is spot number 3, just off a ridge here in 100 feet of water again. Been pretty slow so far. Been here for about 25 minutes, and that was the first fish we marked. Feels like a smaller one. A smaller fish here on the meathead, full of energy. We'll get right back in the water. We got one chasing. There we go. Just got out here fishing a hump out on the mid lake and dropped down, and sure enough just popped it off the bottom, and there was already one sitting down there that I wanted to chase up. It's kind of nice when a move like that pays off. We made a pretty big move. After the last couple spots are pretty much a bust. This one's kind of putting the brakes on a little bit here. It doesn't have huge head shakes, so I don't think it's that big. There you go. Sometimes you just gotta bounce around from spot to spot until you get on a decent school of fish, and today's just kind of one of those days where you got a few fish here and a few fish there, and then it dies off. So sometimes it's good to keep moving around, and you'll get hooked up with a few more fish. Should be just under the ice here. There you go. Nice healthy lake trout here. Get that meathead out. I'll give you guys a quick look. Still full of lots of energy, so I'll get this fish right back in the water. There we got one chasing here. There we go. Hooked up. Drag was a little bit loose there. Tightened up. That's awesome. We've been out here the spot for 7 minutes or so according to the camera, and got 2 fish right away off the bottom. Chasing up like that's always nice. So a little bit deeper on a little bit of a hump here. It's always good structure for lake trout. They like to come on top of these humps and feed. This fish is just under the ice here. Another little guy on the meathead, tipped with a piece of sucker belly. Guys, a quick look. I'll get this fish back in the water. Yeah, the sun's just starting to go down here and the wind's picking up, so we're probably gonna call it a day. Did a little bit of run and gun for the most part today. A few spots we didn't catch any fish, but most spots we got 1 or 2, and we kind of just bounced around. If we weren't marking anything, just move on to another piece of structure, different spot, and it definitely paid off throughout the course of the day. Downsizing the baits also played a key part in catching all those fish today. Our biggest fish actually came on a Moto meathead, a little hair jig, tipped with a piece of sucker belly. It's a great bait to go to when the bite slows down. So I caught a few other fish on the Moto 3.5-inch tube jig in a Chartreuse color, kind of a pickly looking one. It's always a great bait out here on Cold Lake. But yeah, if you like this content, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the water next time.